we are live today. We're going to start going live a little bit more. I usually do around this time of year too. I got a new camera set up as well. I hope that everyone is doing well after this Lionsgate portal. Keep in mind, I am seeing a lot of manifestations. We're going to secure this camera here. I'm seeing a lot of manifestations coming in following the Lionsgate clearing. So just keep that in mind that, Lionsgate portal, this past Lionsgate portal was unlike anyone that we've ever seen. It really, at least the past 4 or 5 years. Hello, hello, hello. I see that you are first. You have that crown over there and the little emoji too. Hello, 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 everyone. Hi, HB Kennel. How are you? I love your videos, HB Kennel. I love your videos. We're going to be doing a little bit of a Soul Tribe hangout. So this is the time where we could ask any questions, give any answers. We're going to be also going over the Kurukulla mantra, as a few people have reached out to me this week about the Kurukulla mantra. And it's just very beneficial in repelling negativity while also attracting what's meant for you. You know how many of us often, you do the prayers to bring things in, you do the rituals to clear stuff out, and then also to bring things in. But when we do the Kurukulla mantra, you're doing both at the same time. So that's why I love the Kurukulla mantra. Instead of doing all these rituals, doing one prayer, then you do a whole nother one to bring things in and clear. Kurukulla does both of them. So we're going to do some questions and answers today. We're going to be going over the Kurukulla mantra that I have over here for you to use. And then we're going to be doing a quick reading for everyone as well. Yes, I hope that everyone's day is going well. Feel free to drop in the comments below. I am anchored. Let's all anchor into this live temple space here and today. If anyone has any questions at all for this live, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll be going through them in order. Hello, Ashley. How are you? Hello, Makari. How are you? Yeah, feel free to put all of your questions, no matter what it is regarding spirituality, tarot, occult, ritual, prayer, protection, anything. Put it in the comments below, and I'll be going over them. We're going to be going over the Kurukulla mantra today, all right? And I have been talking about it in the tarot readings, but a few people have reached out about it. And so we're just going to go over the Kurukulla mantra just on the live. So whenever you come across this, it can be for you. Again, I love the Kurukulla mantra just because it does both at the same time. Oftentimes we'll get the mantra to repel negativity for protection, and then we do a whole nother mantra to attract, whatever's in soul alignment, love, wealth, abundance, joy, peace, healing. But when we do the Kurukulla mantra, again, you're bringing in both energies. So you're repelling negative energy and attracting at the same time. So if anything, the Kurukulla mantra to me, it saves time. I am an alchemy. Yes, Makari, I am anchored in this space, in the here and the now. If anyone has any questions about spirituality, feel free to put them in the comments below. Hi, Xavier, how are you? Yeah, so the Kurukulla mantra, and I'm going to write it over here too. Now with mantras, we understand, even as I say that, I'm seeing you doing the mantras, and it just affecting your energetic field. Our body is the magic. Our breath is the magic. At the end of the day, your body is earth, your breath is the air, your soul is fire, and your blood is the water, right? Your spirit, say, the ether, right? And so your body is medicine in itself. When you're seeking a way to protect yourself, the sound of your voice, your breath, that's like the basic, the most foundational core, protection and spiritual practices you can have is with your own body. We have innate, infinite intelligence within us all, and yes, we could use things without of us, but at the end of the day, the power is within your soul authority. And again, your breath, your voice, your will, your focus. Yes, hello, how are you? Today we're going to be going over some question and answers. Feel free to put any question regarding spirituality, whatever it is, in the comments below. We're going to be going over the Kurukulla mantra, just because it's an awesome mantra for repelling negativity, attracting everything that's soul aligned, and that's love. it's wealth, it's the money, it's joy, it's peace, it's harmony, it's healing. So whatever's yours on a soul level, when you say this mantra, it comes in for you, and it comes in soul aligned. You know, they say with Kurukulla, nothing more, nothing less, you know, so you're not calling in anything other than what would come in soul aligned anyway. You know, so it's such a like integral manifestation practice as well, a manifestation of creativity, of love. When we think of Kurukulla, you could Google her. It's Kurukulla. She shows up as a red Tibetan goddess, semi-wrathful. They call her the diva of the Tibetan Buddhist goddesses, which I actually love it because it's the Eastern version of diva. You know, in the Western Hemisphere, the United States of America, we think of diva as certain things, right? More of an egocentric thing. When it comes to Eastern spirituality, they don't see the word diva in that way. The word diva means, oh, that person, no matter what gender, that diva over there, they attract what is soul aligned and it comes easily. That's what diva means in Tibetan Buddhism. It's now what we think it means, like, you know, again, in the Western Hemisphere, United States. And so she is the diva of all of the Tibetan Buddhist goddesses, because when you say her mantra, you get what's yours. And again, it's nothing more, nothing less than what's already yours on a soul level. All right. And so I'm going to be sharing that mantra with you today, as again, it's a way that you don't have to do a whole bunch of mantras, and you're protecting yourself. You're clearing your energy. You're repelling negativity, creating like a bubble around you with this mantra. But it's also only allowing in what is soul aligned, all of your blessings, all of your manifestations here. So I'm going to write it out. It's Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. Feel free to put in the comments below too. If anyone has any questions about anything spirituality, we're going to go over them today. All right, and then we're going to be getting in a quick reading. All right, let me write this down for everyone too. Om Kurukulle. Her name is Kurukulla, and the mantra, it's Kurukulle, and it's Hrih Svaha. And I don't know if it's just because I'm Spanish. Like, I naturally roll the R whenever I try to not do that. With certain words that the R is not rolled. But it's Om, which we understand that that's also that seed of the universe, right? Om, that's Shiva. And so when you're doing the Om, it's activating that universal mind. Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha Hrih, or Kure with the R over here. So Om Kurukulle Hrih, so that H over there is not pronounced, it's just Hrih Svaha. So when you do this not syllables, but 4-word mantra, Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha, you are cleansing, clearing, repelling, blocking any and all forms and effects of negativity around you. At the same time, you're attracting infinite wealth, infinite love. So like relationships, creativity, all of your manifestations. And again, at the same time. So I think I came across Kurukulle maybe 4 years ago for the first time. And just right away, I was like, whoa, she does both at the same time. You know, because again, you do the mantras, you do the candles to clear, right? Or the prayers to clear your energetic field. And that's a whole separate thing to call in what's meant for you. When you work with Kurukulla, one mantra, both things. Cleansing, clearing, also attracting. Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. You can look that up on Google as well. Yes, finally live. This was one of the first summers that I did not have summer camp for my little one. So once school starts in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, we're going to be live a little bit more often too, to share all the mantras. There's been so much I've been drafting for everyone too, so I'm excited to share it. Makari, you got a question, Makari. What do you think about when the universe and the animals really start to communicate with you on your path? Yeah, that there's something it is that they're showing you, you know, especially with animals. When animals recognize us, like, you know, you're in the heart space. When animals just see you and they're not trying to attack. Like they see, I don't know if anyone like resonates that you can look into your pet's eyes. Like I have a pet bird, I have 2 snakes, I have a bearded dragon, all different kinds of animals. But when you look in their eyes, there's this knowing where you just see that they recognize you, and that feels so good. And that's how I've always felt too. When animals start to recognize you, they see your divinity, right? Because it's interesting that we look at animals, we see them as animals. Why don't animals see us as animal, right? They see us as divine, which not all humans, I guess, are good to animals, but Ashley Weaver, Ashe. I want to know more how to prayers. Yeah, prayer is so important, where at least like what comes through is having your core foundational practice. Right? Like if we jump with that, and I think a lot of people do that on the spiritual journey, where it's like we're first discovering TikTok and like TikTok spirituality, Instagram, YouTube, and we jump without of us. But 11:11, as I say that, I think the core foundational practice before we jump into like any lineage, any ritual work, anything like that, is ourselves, our bodies, like your breath, your air, right? Your speech. Everyone has their soul authority, and it's we're all here to remember who we are, but that's such like a foundational part of things. I'm going to go back to the question too, especially as a reader too, like say for example, me as a reader, I cleanse on a daily basis. The first year I was on YouTube is when I learned that, where it's like, say before you're putting your gifts out there, where things exist, right? And so if you're putting yourself out there, you feel it. At least, if you're like, for those of you who are truly extrasensory perception, truly clairvoyant, we feel it, like even if we're not online. So especially for you as a reader, the daily prayers, the daily cleansing is so important too. And that's also just for anyone who's empathic, who's sensitive. Yes, exactly. People constantly attack you for no reason. What do? They're obviously triggered by something. And there's nothing you can do to change myself. It's crazy. Yeah, and I feel like that's a story too of like a lot of chosen ones where it's like wherever you go, and I guess what I would say too is like for us, like, for the chosen ones, the light workers out there, where you get spiritually attacked, I feel like in general, chosen ones go through certain things to build them, to show them their power, where it's like chosen ones will get attacked and attacked and attacked until they finally see, oh, this is why I'm getting attacked. Nobody would ever try to go into an empty house. This is why all of the negativity has always happened in my life. There was a power and innate intelligence within me that I didn't quite understand. And paying attention to the patterns too, because I feel like with chosen ones, like we tend to see like, oh, those kind of people are who attack me. The spiritual attacks increase when this happens or when that happens, and then that own, right, the universal mind, like stepping back into our heart, where I try to, at least for me, I don't resonate with war and attack mode. I don't resonate with war and attack mode at all. Not to say that things don't exist, they do, so I try to be mindful of that as well, and I don't know why I see like the root chakra too, so maybe the root chakra means something to you. But yeah, I feel like chosen ones, it's like you'll go through those mirror reflections to own that soul authority and power and sovereignty. Hi, Jamie. Oh, that brings a smile to my face. Hello, birthday twin. Hi, Dom. Yes, we're going to be getting in a reading as well. Feel free to put your questions. Now, not questions for the tarot, questions for spirituality. Feel free to get in any questions it is that you have on spirituality, that you have on tarot, mystery school, high priestess stuff, whatever questions you may have. Feel free to put it in the comments below. I'm going to get a general collective tarot reading for everyone as well. And I did share that Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha mantra. So at the beginning of this live, feel free to rewatch it. We have Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. And what that does is it repels, blocks any and all forms and effects of negativity within or without of you. It just all forms, all directions, and it attracts what is in alignment on a soul level. So for those of you who get tired, are like saying, you have a schedule, you don't want to do the clearing ritual, the protection ritual, and the manifestation, work with Kurukulle. She is the diva of the Tibetan Buddhist goddesses, and not in the way that we know of divas. In Tibetan Buddhism, a diva is not gender specific, and it is just anyone who can just attract on a soul level. You attract on a soul level easily. Why? Because you remember it's your birthright and you have reclaimed it. And that's what Kurukulle represents. Thank you. You answered my question in spirit in a totally different way. And then you said it in words. Ooh, I love it. A lot of people have been saying that they have dreams about me. If you ever have dreams about me, feel free to share, even, no matter what it is. I've had all different kinds of dreams. Lyran vibe. I feel like I look like a Lyran. Hi, Dom. My birthday twin, March 1st. We're all the Pisces here. Let me get to the comments. I do, I've made a tarot reading. I forgot the word was for a second. A tarot reading last week about God body. And when it comes to crystalline activations, honestly, what's coming through is, say, by the end of Pluto and Aquarius, humans are going to start looking more like Lyrans, which is what, like, to me, Lyrans look very human-like, or, etc. That's what I see, is people looking more like their starseed lineages. And I guess we'll see what happens, right? Yes, I do only light technology on my animals, where I have never had to bring my animals to a vet, even in emergency situations. Reiki has worked. Where someone dropped off a bird at my doorstep. I tend to take in animals where people don't want the animal anymore. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And it was this bird. The bird had a beak as long as it was going into its throat. And I was like, okay, I'm giving this bird, and also this bird that has a health issue. Whatever happened there. Where I'm sure the beak, I don't know why the beak wasn't cut. That's a different story, I guess. But I had the bird already when I realized, oh, wow, the beak is going into its throat. And then that would have left me, say, for example, I, brought it to the vet, would have left me with the bill. The vet, something just told me, do Reiki on the bird. Use your light technology. So daily, I did all the symbols, the Reiki symbols. And within a week and a half, the beak broke off naturally. And the bird is just happy and is just eating. Very, just happy, healthy, normal. And so when it comes to animals, I think they benefit so much from Reiki. And all of us too, I'm sure all of us animals and Homo sapiens, would go to the doctor much less if we used more light technology. Oh, finding a feather. I love it. Yes. I'm going to be getting in a reading as well. General timeless reading for everyone. I've thought about going live a few days a week to do fire signs, air signs, water signs, earth signs, instead of posting it on my channel, of just going live and hey, it's fire signs day, it's earth signs day, air signs day. And then just keeping Pisces as the one that's on the channel. If that resonates, feel free to let me know. And I might just start doing that, just going live for the other signs, and then I'm only posting Pisces. Pisces, I'm loyal to you. Pisces. What kind of past life do we all have? I'm a Pisces, Aquarius wife. Oh, bless you, Watchmen. Bless you. Yeah. Oh, Pisces and Aquarius all, have that bond as well, where it's Pisces is the mystical. Aquarius to me is very alien-like almost. Technology, things like that. That's so beautiful. Hello. Curtis Black. Tony here. Hi. Have you ever seen the web, like a cosmic one? Yeah. Yeah, like, like the cosmic web of creation. I like where we're going with God body. I'm not gonna lie. I feel so attractive. That's awesome. Like it's good to like feel good about yourself. It's good to feel healthy, to feel balanced, and I think we just need happier people in the world. Happy, balance. And the key is balance. Even in Egyptian mythology, like Kemeticism, Ma'at was just about balance. It wasn't religion. Ancient Kemet was not a religion. It was spirituality. It's no, the Ma'at laws are like, let's be a saint, let's all be perfect and this and that, which the Bible took the laws of Ma'at and made it into the 10 Commandments. We had the 42 laws first. It's just a guide for us to be balanced. And that's all any of us need to do is be balanced. And I feel like so much weight is lifted off of our shoulders when we stop treating ourselves, as like God is our physical parents, right? Like the Divine Mother, Divine Father, they don't have expectations like our parents did. They have true unconditional love and this and that, etc. But yeah, I do feel like there's so much crystalline and DNA activation. We are going to, and what's that test where you could test yourself of how old you are? People are going to be the fountain of youth. I do feel in the future, we probably have people living again over 100, like we used to have, there's so much, like processed foods, damage to DNA, even our phones damage DNA, etc. But I do think we're getting back to that. Ooh, Portugal, that sounds beautiful. Blessings to you. Yes, of Saint Michael. We should do a live on the mystery school teachings of Archangel Michael. I'm gonna write that down. Mystery school teachings of Archangel Michael. I may have to go live for that because Archangel Michael in mystery school is not who Archangel Michael is in the Hebrew Bible. So I might have to do that to share some of the mystery school secrets of Archangel Michael and his cosmic blue-ray sword. Hi, Johnny. I'm happy that they are resonating. Yes, we are all protected. Feel free to put in the comments below, I am protected. I am protected in every time, space, and dimension. Hello, Davika. Hello, Eric. Ashley, what's funny about that is like a whole feather didn't find me, a whole bird did. This someone didn't believe in meditation until I told them this story. I had a meditation where they, people go like, oh, you're just seeing things. That's just you talking. It's different. Listen, Pisces, listen. If you can materialize and manifest things, you're not delusional. That's the rule for the Pisces. Yeah, but if it grounds and materializes, is it delusional? It's real, And so it was just kind of funny that I shared a meditation experience with someone who doesn't necessarily believe in meditation. And I told them, I just saw a feather in my meditation fall into my hand. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll find a feather. A bird landed on my doorstep the next day. Someone emergency asked me to keep the bird, and I still have the bird in my house. And so just think about that. A random feather. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get a feather. A whole bird. But it's, and then a situation like that where it's like, oh, did I just imagine a bird falling? I mean, a feather falling? Was it really just spirit showing me that a bird was coming into my home? I don't know what the order of events was there, but you is loyal. OMG, I was in the Knights of Templar. My Saturn is in the 7th house. When it comes to like contracts, relationships, I'm loyal. Or whatever loyalty means. I don't know what that means anyway. I think that's different for everyone, but I take it serious. That's what I like to say. Like I take things very seriously with that Saturn in the 7th house and my Saturn's Aries. I take things very seriously. Phone wouldn't freak out. I'd have a lot to say one day. Yes, feel free to everyone put your questions below when it comes to spirituality. We're going to get in this reading now, answer just a few more questions. We're not doing any tarot questions today, but anything spirituality, tarot, mystery, school, etc. Earlier in the live, we did go over the Kurukulla mantra over here. Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. And I'll show you for those of you who are just joining. Don't mind my notes. I made a note that we're going to go live on the Mystery School teachings of Archangel Michael. So next week will be about Archangel Michael. This week's about Kurukulle. Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. And I'm going to just share it one more time. And then for those of you who watch it, you'll watch it again. I love this mantra because, and I share my story that I'm a single mom, and so I like to be very resourceful with the time that I have. Kurukulle will block and repel all negativity, simultaneously a magnet attractor for everything that's in alignment on a soul level. So if you don't want to do two separate mantras for protection and for manifestation, do the Kurukulla mantra. And it's just one mantra for both of those things. I am protected, and every time my soul truth is protected, my Akashic records are protected. What do you think about New Earth technology? Yes, it's very advanced manifestation. And I would say it's like ancient technology, where this is what the Egyptians were doing, when they built the pyramids, of ancient technology using the stars. And that's really what we're getting to, where by the end of the 250 years in Aquarius, in the Bible it says, follow the man with the water barrel. And really what it's saying is Pluto in Aquarius. And that it represented Jesus, right? Or say like awakening of the world. When Jesus returns, which in the Bible, which is an exoteric book, so exoteric, mesoteric, esoteric. The Bible is an exoteric book. And it is not to be taken literally. It is to be taken with symbolism. So what does that mean, right? The Christ within us, the truth. We're coming out of the age of Pisces, right? And so we're coming into our own truths with that age of Aquarius, humanity, service, sacred service, etc. So I feel like too with that, I'm going to reread it rather. What do you think about New Earth technology? Not to label. Yeah, I think it's ancient technology that we've always had. That's always been a truth, and it's always worked. Working with the stars has always worked. Always. Everything, every person that has, every tribe that has ever created anything from the stars, not to say that things don't get desecrated, things like that, but it lasts because anything from the fourth plane is crystallized in the earth. So anything you create from the fourth plane and up is crystallized. What kind of bird? I have a parakeet. I have a green parakeet. Or he already came with his name Kiwi, so I kept the name Kiwi. But I do find it interesting of like animals coming in and watching them. I do keep them all. The living room for me is a temple. So my living room is like just a full temple where, I remember one friend saying of like, Jocelyn, I don't know if I would room with you because I feel like I'm living in a temple and I don't know if I want to live in one. So I have all the animals there. But I noticed that when like the new animals come in, their personalities shift. Where I had a snake also donated to me because someone was scared of the snake. I don't know. Someone living with them and they were like, can you take this snake? So long story short, I still have this snake that I was going to keep for like a month. Its name is Sid. But once they told me his name was Sid, I'm like, oh, Sadiq means truthful prophet. So like interesting there. But he was very timid at first, never came out the cave, and now he just comes out, walks, like not walks, slithers, I guess. But like just looks around, watches me, watches my little one running back and forth too. So it's interesting. My little one, he's 6 years old. He's neurodivergent, so he does not handle the serpents yet because he moves very quickly and he moves a lot. So he doesn't handle the serpents yet. But I almost say that like he has initiated my snakes, my 6-year-old, because he runs around and they just got used to him where they're not even scared anymore. Snakes never attack, really to most of the time not to attack you. It's because they're scared, where it's like you make a quick movement, they're going to move quickly too. And it makes you scared, but at the end of the day, the snake is actually scared, you know? It's my 6-year-old, though, that has, I don't know, initiated whatever it is, my snakes, where they're not scared of him anymore. He just runs around and they don't even flinch. Yes, thank you, one little Sunny. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Multiple blessings. All right, let's get into this reading. And yeah, feel free to put all of your questions into the comments below. We're not doing any tarot questions, but anything spirituality, mystery school, feel free. All right, now we do have dance, delicacy over here. We have open like the lotus, revelation, flowering spirit. It's okay to be as delicate and as strong as a flower. We have the healing temple, restoration, cure, and safety over here. Yeah, I love right over here. And I was just talking about roses too with a soul sister earlier. A rose is soft. A rose is also very powerful. The mysteries and wonders here. All right, let's see where this brings us. Let's see where this reading brings us today. So as always, just feel free to take it a deep breath. Connect with that inner source of yours. You know, and I think that's what we're all doing. Like, I just see the whole world awakening as a rose. Like just roses all over the world. Roses, even if you were to burn a rose, it's similar to sandalwood, to myrrh, to sage, to palo santo. Rose is a very powerful cleanser, but it's also very soft. It's delicate. You know, so there's something here about roses here. Maybe it has to do with the rose lineage, because we do have the unknown, mysteries, wonders, delicacy, dance, flowering spirit, revelation, open like the lotus here. What do we have? And I'm just imagining you as a rose. So perhaps for today, what this reading is, oh yes, your ancestors are coming through over here, okay? Now you don't have to be a masculine to concentrate like on the sacral or that womb energy. You still have a sacral even if you don't have a womb. Definitely the ancestors coming here. We do have ancestral spirit as well. All right. Remember your roots, perspectives, trust the weavings, the grandmothers. Ooh, for some of you, your grandmother, could be grandfathers. It is general and timeless. So as always, just take what resonates with you. Your grandmothers are coming through. Okay, the ancestors are coming through very strong in this reading. The great mother, surrender to the mystery and fall into her arms. Ooh, yeah, so again, not gender specific at all. This could be a focus on the maternal lineage for you. But your ancestors are coming through in this reading right away. For some of you, you will be the softest ancestor in your family, in your lineage. You will be the softest ancestor in your lineage. You are the new ancestor. And 3838 over there. So you'd be seeing the number 333 or 888. Yeah, what I'm hearing is ancestral mysteries, because we do have ancestral spirit here. All right, the ancestral mysteries. It is in your birthright. And that's everybody. Everybody, you know, we're all coming to a womb energy, which has nothing to do with, you know, male or female. A womb energy is softer. It's slower, more rest, more surrender. You know, you're able to tune into spirit more than being distracted by the world, etc. And so what I'm seeing here from the ancestors for you is you are the softest ancestor. And what the ancestors are actually saying is, you better get out of your head of like, I'm the strongest. No, no. You don't have to be the strongest ancestor. You don't have to even be the strongest. Your ancestors are saying your ancestors were already strong. This lifetime, don't allow yourself or anyone else to trick you. What I'm just channeling, to trick you out of your spot of, in this lifetime, you will be soft. You can live a softer life. I'm seeing that you come from a lineage that you worked hard. Your ancestors have worked hard. The hard work is over. And not to say that you're not going to be working hard, but it's definitely going to be in a different way where you don't have to work a 13-hour day. And, you know, maybe some of you, you know, you're still hunting, you know, fishing, things like that. You know, so I'm seeing just things like that. You know, think of maybe the grandmothers, you know, that had 5 jobs or this or that. You're not going to be that ancestor that had, you know, say 5 jobs and is just only working in their life and they don't get to enjoy themselves or their home, their family. They don't get to be present, working, you know, in times where you really know that you should rest, etc. And so that's what I'm seeing. And that's why the rose actually was coming through. You could be very strong and still be a rose. You do not have to be extra hard. And it's interesting, this morning, Chamunda came through for me. Chamunda Vichye Namaha. Now, Chamunda is even more intense than Kalima. So if any of you think that Kalima is intense, Chamunda is even more intense. But she also protects you from toxic masculinity. And so from anyone who tells you, but you should work harder, or this, or like, you know, you who is watching me here today or who will watch this video once it is posted, you are meant to live a soft life. Anyone who tries to impose anything that's harder upon you, you are meant to soften and to soften in this lifetime like a rose. Again, whether you are a sister of the rose or a brother of the rose, you are meant to be as soft as a rose. But understand that the rose is soft because the rose has some thorns on it, you know, and so it's also safe to soften. You got some thorns on that rose anyway, so you don't have to worry about the protection and the this and the that. A rose might be soft, but they're not going to touch the rose, all right? So taking a deep breath, connect with your inner source. I love where this reading is going so far. Let's see where else it goes. I'm going to try to look at the comments in a second too. Past life healing. There you go. You have ancestral healing here. You have past life healing. Hecate. We have no more hiding over here too. I'm going to take a look at the comments, grab the past life oracle deck. Whenever the past life card comes, we get the past life oracle deck. Yes, tech is old as shit. Gabriella, I love that for Kiwi. Oh, I love that question too, Curtis, of like the crown chakra. How to be more present in the physical. Now, I have a lot of Pisces in my chart. I'm someone who I used to be on a lot of ADHD medication. I want to tell you, I'm just a squirrel. I'm a squirrel that just has a lot of energy. For anyone who's ever met me, I don't go to sleep like easily. Like it has been a journey where they used to give me sleep medication. That wouldn't work. I'm just a generating manifestor. I have a lot of energy. I've learned to own it, you know, but one of those struggles I also had, like you, Curtis Black, is the grounding part of things, right? Being more present in the physical, in the body, which is what a lot of us, you know, say spiritual people, also Piscean energy. Pisces, you are water. You are not earth, okay? Like you are water. And when it comes to grounding, working with earth elements is really what helped me. So honestly, shamanism, where when I met a shaman, like say 6 or 7 years ago, he said, you don't need any of what I usually do. I need to ground you. That shaman looked at me and he said, you don't need what those people of like the awakening, the opening, you there, Jocelyn, you need to ground. And so 7 years ago, I was like, okay, I'm actually not working with like what other entheogens other people would work with, which I have done all of those other things too. I switched to combo, to working with the spirit of tobacco. You know, if you are someone who's naturally a little bit more grounded than others, a lot of roots in your diet. It says, remember your roots, you know, and so actually working with the root chakra is what you would need to do, you know, so things like that ground you, making sure that you're eating. You know, I'm actually, this was when I went to California that I realized I eat way more than I think I do. And that's just from the projection of people who see that I'm petite and they're like, oh, she needs to eat. And then I'm like, oh, in California, I realized with other people that I eat 10 times more than they do. And they're thinking that they're going to feed me and give me like more. And I'm just like, oh, I eat way more than I thought I did. So eating would really help, you know. And, you know, if you're someone who's ungrounded, eating a lot, you know, and I'm someone that I actually do eat way more than I look like I do. I just burn a lot at the same time. And yeah, roots, so like potatoes, things like that. If you are someone who has a lot of Pisces, or just someone naturally a little bit more ungrounded, anything with the root is going to be so helpful, but making that like a priority. So for me, I don't do entheogens that bring me out of my body. I do like tobacco. I do combo that brings me into the body. And that has been so helpful on my journey. Snakes in my dreams. Yeah, and I would say like when you dream with snakes too, be it could mean different things. You know, it could be an attack. Sometimes it's also like fear that's presenting in the dreams, etc. I know that for me, whenever like it's a negative energy, but it's without of me, it's like something, someone else, someone astral, something. I dream of rats. And that's what happens for me, where it's just like, oh, yeah, that's something in the astral being cleared. But for me, snakes actually don't show up like in a bad way. Snakes never, ever bite me. So like for me, in my dreams, when I see snakes, it's a sign that they're like protecting me kind of thing. But the snake is also my power animal, like my spirit animal in shamanism, and it's a totem animal for me. So for me, one of my main things is like serpents and snakes. I saw a green one just 2 days ago. What's this past life healing? For all signs today, the divine, beautiful souls that are with me here today, and that will watch this video. This ancestral message here. As soft as a rose, you are the new ancestor, and you are the softest ancestor that has ever existed. Why do we have past life healing here? Why do we have past life healing? Oof. You clearing out biblical stuff. The way I said that just now. Is BB Bronx here? Whenever he comes into here is when sometimes like I'll just start talking a certain way without even realizing it. Blessings, Nicoletta, and I pray that you receive that back ×4. Now, I don't know why the number 4 is coming through over here, but 4, not even 3, 4. Yes, and Makari, you are a beautiful brother of the rose, you know, especially as a man. He says, I feel like they try to, try to show my softness as a man to kind of like bully me into more spiritual. Yeah, no, anyone who, we all operate differently. Some of us are a little bit more harder than others, and that's also okay. But, you know, honoring the sensitivity in another person. When someone's a little bit more sensitive, they're way more in tune with things. They're way more sensitive to the other realms and worlds. You know, and that's why I see a lot of people, you know, sometimes gaslight of like, oh, that person is sensitive. Oh, that person actually can feel a lot, you know. Now, past life healing here. We have farm. Farms can resonate with you. Atlantis and biblical. So let's see what this is. Clearing out some biblical wounds over here. Atlantis in the Bible. That's interesting. I'm going to grab one more card. We're going to grab from this deck. Why do we have past life healing here? Why do we have past life healing here? Okay. You cleared it. Definitely biblical wounds, biblical stuff here. There could be biblical fears, religious blockages. We have Atlantis here too. It's cleared. That's what Spirit's saying though. You're behind whatever past life healing this is. Have positive expectations here. The eyes of beauty. I love how this reading is all coming off this rose and Venusian energy. But yeah, Makari, like you are a brother of the rose and you're also super gifted. Whenever anybody, you know, not gender specific, is more sensitive to energy, you know, some people will be like, oh, they can't, or whatever, you know, that's how they feel about sensitive people. But, you know, you're more in tune to the other realms. You're going to be compensated for whatever happened in this past life. You are going to be compensated. You cleared out some sort of biblical and Atlantean timelines over here. So let's get these messages and then we're going to get into the tarot for you. For whoever's joining me now, we're doing some ancestral reading over here. Ancestors were coming out very strongly. Did not expect the ancestors to come out. They're coming out very, very strongly over here. In this lifetime, you will be as soft as a rose. And owning that in all areas of your life. you will be as soft as a rose. And your life, like circumstances, are going to be so that you will be as soft as a rose. And you can be as soft and as delicate as a rose, because if they try to do anything to the rose, they're just gonna grab onto the thorns anyway. So just having that knowing, like you are the rose of your ancestral lineage. What do we have from the ancestors for all signs today? Kalima. What do we have for the Krishna? What do we have for all signs today? The ancient souls on this ancestral reading of being as soft as a rose. What do we have for this ancestral reading of being as soft as a rose? Oh, sugar honey iced tea. Who am I reading for today? Lord, sweet baby Jesus. All right. You have extreme protection here. And I'm just going to channel this the way it's coming through. Kalima, right? The Kalima awakening within you is, it doesn't matter how many, whatever, you know, people, enemies, this, that are without of me. Having no fear. I mentioned the root chakra too. You know, what's also actually coming through here is, for some of you, you cleared a lot. You are a chosen one in your ancestral lineage. You have cleared out a lot of root chakra, which is not the fun chakra to clear out. None of them are, but the root chakra, like, fortunately or unfortunately, you know, you have been chosen in your ancestral lineage to clear out a lot of root. But what does that mean? That means that you can actually root these manifestations, these blessings that were destined for the mothers, the fathers that were before you. They did not want to clear the root, Kalima over here. The root is the hardest chakra to clear. It's the root of fear. It's the root of safety. It's the root of a whole lot of things, you know. So it's the darkest things to clear in anyone's human journey is the root chakra. You were chosen in your ancestral lineage to clear the root, which is why you feel like a chosen one of, like, what the heck? Why all these trials and tests and tribulations? Why all of the clearing of fear? But what I see is your root chakra in this lifetime. You're clearing a lot of the root themes of your ancestors that don't even belong to you. You are also the ancestor that is not meant to be in fear. For some of you, fear has been passed down your ancestral lineage until it came to you. Where you can be as soft and as delicate as a rose in this lifetime. And if, you know, as far as like spiritual attacks, enemies, things like that, they don't want to touch that rose. It has thorns. But the thorns is the duality of the rose. It protects the rose. Now, you have fame and fortune here. We're going to see what this is over here. Why do we have cycle closed for the collective? Why do we have cycle closed here? Ancestral cycle closed. You are the chosen one of your ancestors. Four of Swords over here. You got a sword of authority from all of your tests and trials and tribulations. They were never to Eight of Swords you. They were to reveal your identity. They were to reveal the anointing upon your life. They were to reveal the sword of authority and sovereignty of which it is that you hold. For some of you, with the Eight of Coins and then the Four of Wands over here in reverse. Why the Eight of Coins and the Four of Wands in reverse here? Why the Eight of Coins, the Four of Wands in reverse? We have the Hierophant. We have the Empress over here. Why the Hierophant and the Empress? You were closing out a lot of family themes, okay? The Hierophant is contracts. We did say that this is about your maternal lineage. Now, general timeless reading, it could very well be about your paternal, but we have a lot of maternal lineage here. So not gender specific. You all have a maternal lineage. The Empress card. A lot of you are clearing out maternal stuff, but in general, just take it as you're clearing out ancestral and family stuff. Okay, Two of Swords over here. It doesn't resonate with you. It ran through your lineage until it came to you. Now, why do we have fame and fortune here? Why do we have fame and fortune here? Why do we have fame and fortune here? For some of you, someone tried to trap you. Why the Seven of Cups for fame and fortune? Why the Eight of Swords for fame and fortune? Why the Eight of Cups and the Six of Coins for fame and... For some of you, there's some family secrets. Why the Two of Cups? For some of you. And why the Death card? Let's get one more. Why the Death card? Why the Death card over here? There are spells and curses that are breaking off of you. Off of your family as well. Your power was blocked here. Why do we have, I have something to tell you? Why do we have, I have something to tell you here? Someone tried to take away what was yours. Devil card. Now, this is someone who, and why is the fame and fortune coming up here in the reading for the collective? You are meant for beautiful and for great things. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands energy. For some of you, it is in your soul destiny to have some sort of recognition, to have some sort of fame or some sort of fortune. This does not mean that you are egocentric. I am speaking to someone that it is in your Akashic records and soul destiny. And I don't know what yours is, but for whoever I'm speaking to, this is crystallized. It is in your Akashic records, in your soul destiny to have some sort of recognition, some sort of fame, or some sort of fortune. And anyone who is to say anything else otherwise, they will have to wrestle with God. We are not here to say what is in someone's Akashic records. We are not here to say what's in someone's soul destiny. However, you know, if it's in someone's soul destiny Akashic records, you can't tell them otherwise either. But again, you know, take that with a grain of salt. What I'm trying to say here, there is someone that you were dealing with that went against your soul destiny. They went against what was meant for you. This is a story of Joseph here. This is the Joseph story where Joseph, what Spirit is saying is, for some of you, keep Akashic records. Keep your soul destiny. Keep what you're meant for to yourself. The spirit of envy and of jealousy, whether that be in your own family, because that's what happened to Joseph. It was Joseph's own family, their brothers and sisters, that tried to put them away because of what Joseph was meant for. All paths lead home. There are infinite possibilities to your soul destiny. It didn't matter if they put Joseph in an Eight of Swords. Joseph prophesied to the guard. And Joseph still became the king of Egypt. And Joseph was not in Joseph's ego. Joseph, being the king of Egypt, had enough to take care of everyone around him. And Joseph took care of them. Meanwhile, the brothers and the sisters, etc., are like, oh, Joseph is all about themselves. You see, Joseph only broke the ego of their brothers and sisters. You see where I'm going with this reading? And just in general, whenever you come across this, like we've been saying for years, this is the Joseph Collective, okay? 144 Blue Rose Temple, all of you are the Joseph Collective. Whether this be your family or whether this be people that you have met, etc., nobody can take what is yours. Nobody can take your soul's truth, your soul's destiny. There are many cultures and religions, and you won't find them in the United States. I mean, people in the USA, practice them. There are many Eastern cultures and religions that when you're born, they tell you what your soul destiny is. And there are infinite paths to get to that destiny. But that is your soul's truth. And they give that to you as a child, or like say when you're, some Eastern cultures and religions, it's when you're initiated. 333 as I say that. And when you're initiated, they show you, like, this is your soul destiny. And that's your truth. Anything else is illusion, etc. And there's many paths to get to your soul destiny. So you also never messed up. There are infinite roads and paths back home. Someone brought you out of alignment with your soul destiny. But your soul destiny is still your soul destiny. For you watching me, you are a Joseph of your family. You are meant for some sort of recognition, fame, or fortune. And then anyone else who thinks otherwise, like that's what you're truly meant for. Phoenix rising, as soon as I say that, okay? You are a Phoenix rising over here. Let's get into the actual reading, because that was only a clarification of the fame and fortune here. So just be mindful of that. All right, now some of you have past lives, like from Bible times, where you really walked in those areas of the world. For the collective, for the ancient souls today, for all signs, why do we have, I have something to tell you, cycle closed, kalima, fame and fortune, the secret, the unknown mysteries, wonders, the great mother, the grandmothers, flowering spirit, past life healing, and delicacy. Remembering that we started off this reading with, you are the softest ancestor in your lineage. You are the rose of your ancestral lineage. Why do we have fame and fortune? I have something to tell you. Why do we have fame and fortune? I have something to tell you. The great mother, Kalima, cycle closed, flowering spirit, revelation, fame and fortune. I have something to tell you. What the ancestors have to tell you is that you're meant for a beautiful life. That's what we have to tell you. I have something to tell you here. I'm going to scroll down to the comments too. I got to catch up. Yes, Goddess Chamunda is one of the forms of Kalima. Chamunda Vichye Namaha. I love Chamunda. Yes, the rose has the highest vibration. You have a lot of Aquarius. Ooh. I remember you told me in high school. Did I go to high school with you? I remember you told me in high school that I was not weird, and you actually said I don't have ADHD. I was a freshman, and you were a senior. Oh my Lord Jesus. Did I go to high school with you, Maftat? But that sounds like me. I've been strange, weird, and odd since birth, so... I probably did say that in high school. I probably said, you're not weird, you're normal. I've always been this way. That's proof right there. But listen, collective, you're meant for a beautiful life, okay? We have 9 of coins, you have the King of Pentacles, you have the 6 of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. What some of you need to hear is fame and fortune, all this other stuff. What I'm hearing is from the ancestors, we're going to make it make sense. You've cleared out so much root that your root has a lot of space to hold. That's it. You cleared out for the ancestors and you're being paid for your work. And that's just the truth. Lakshmi abundance or the Lakshmi, the eye of Lakshmi, right? We did a little bit of like the other day, a meditation with the eye of Lakshmi on here. To see the world through the eyes of infinite abundance is everywhere. It's always coming to you. You're always getting things for free or discounted or this or that, or you're always finding resources. You find food, you find something on the floor, this, that, it's not just money. You will unlock that infinite abundance in this lifetime. You will reclaim your soul's abundance. Kurukulle, the diva of the Tibetan Buddhist goddesses. You're going to master this energy. Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. I wrote a little note there, so don't mind that. But Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. You're so protected. We're repelling and blocking any and all forms and effects of negativity. And at the same time, you can attract everything that is in alignment with your soul purpose and your soul mission. Nothing more, nothing less, whatever that might be. For some of you, fame and fortune. For some of you. And that's nothing more, nothing less. Kurukulle over there. All right. So Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Six of Swords. Six of Swords, it says calm waters, healing, progress. It's just calm waters. Your life, again, not to say it's going to be perfect. There's still duality. You know, where heaven on earth is not where, it's not the new age spirituality where everything is just love and light and perfect every day and everything just feels like light. You know, it's anchoring that love and that light in the midst of all things, right? The nothingness and the oneness. So even when things happen for you, the collective that I'm speaking to right now, it's going to feel like a little just in the wind. Where, you know, if, say this happens, yeah, I don't know, a tire, this or that, it's like, oh, okay. You know, you're going to have an overall better quality of life. You are the new ancestor. You are the rose of your ancestral lineage over here. And your ancestors will treat you like a rose, all right? Again, not gender specific. You are a rose. Why the Nine of Pentacles here? Why the Nine of Pentacles? Why the King of Pentacles here? Why the King of Pentacles? And why the Six of Swords here? Yeah, you know what I do see? Let's actually get it clear. Why the Lover's card with the Nine of Pentacles? It's interesting because we have the Lovers, but I see you all by yourself. I did have a conversation earlier with a soul sister of mine where we spoke of, you know, when God truly is your partner. You know, and that's why I have this here. You know, when God truly is, like, you really in sacred union with God or with Goddess. You know, say if you're a masculine energy, like truly, like you are someone that you took the harder route, you chosen one, the chosen one of your ancestral lineage. You took the harder route where you're like, I'm going to go do all this, this, and this first before I find love kind of thing. You know, where it's like, I'll be single, I'll do all the work by myself kind of thing here. I see you awakening on your own. You know, when you receive everything that's for you collective, it's number one, also Kalima energy here. She rules time. You know, it's also going to come in at the time that's the right time. You know, the ancestors are not going to give you something that it's like, yeah, but we understand that that rose of ours has this, this, and this to do. And then, you know, it's like, you get it, you lose it kind of thing. That's not going to happen for you. It's going to come in when you're ready for this to come in. So I do see you doing work. You know, I see you doing soul work, ancestral work, shadow work. Why the Death card with the King of Pentacles here? Why the Death card with the King of Pentacles here? Now, for some of you, there's a big change happening for you. What is this Death card here? What is this Death card? Some of you, yeah, I'm sorry, this is the story of Joseph. You know, and again, truth, sorry, the Truth card. Sometimes it's like, I'm so sorry, I'm having so many confirmations. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it says truth as I say that. You hold the sword of your family here. And yeah, where your own family put you through a Ten of Swords. Your own family put you through a death and a rebirth. People that felt like family put you through a Ten of Swords, death and rebirth, all of those different things. And so you were forced to learn lessons on your own. Ten of Cups, Ace of Swords here, the Nine of Wands. But you do hold the sword of your family, I'll tell you that. The ancestors crowned you through this situation. And that's what the ancestors are saying. I'm going to get a clarification for that one. They crowned you because of that betrayal. That betrayal, yeah, it was a betrayal. It was a hidden initiation where it came with hidden blessings. It came with hidden upgrades of whatever that this was. When I start talking faster, I'm channeling. So if I ever start talking faster, I'm channeling, and I don't realize I'm talking faster until I realize it. Why the Ace of Swords here? Why the Ace of Swords here? Touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Oh, over here. They got you out of escape. They got you out of the jail, the escape, the Eight of Swords that your own family or that people who felt like family put you into. We started off with the Eight of Swords upright. You are out of this Eight of Swords. Touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. You are the Joseph, whatever, of your family, of your situation. You got the Ace of Swords, big change, Nine of Swords over here. These people were trying to spew fear onto what you already knew was truth. What's coming through is I saw the infinity symbol. You are someone who you did not have limitation. People have imposed their own limitations upon you. Why Page of Swords with the Six of Swords here? The Star card, baby! Collective Ace of Cups. I don't know who I'm talking to, but whoever I am talking to here and today, listen. You are the star of your ancestral lineage. For some of you, fame and fortune. Yes. Your ancestors are even protecting it. Yes. Of whatever that might be. So when, like me, particularly when I'm saying fame, not the Leo energy, like we're in Leo season, not the old Leo energy, you know, when it comes to fame, right? And I'm being led to actually say these words because for some of you, anyone who says like, oh, don't think about that. This is actually in your Akashic records. It's actually in your soul destiny. So if people were to say that, they would be gaslighting you. For fame and fortune, for some of you, just some form of recognition. Say you write a book, right? And it gets on Amazon. That's a form of recognition. That's a form of fortune. Whatever this is for you, Kurukulle, right? Nothing more, nothing less. Fame and fortune. You are protected over here. Like the story of Joseph, you were never saying things from an ego perspective. Your channeling is not ego. It's the truth. You know, some of you are future stars, and that's what I have to say in this reading. You know, some people will think that the tarot reader is even like, oh, what's that? Who's that tarot reader? I'm saying this because it's your truth. And that's what Spirit is saying here. And for some of you, your own family will continuously try to block and stop it. For some of you, you are only secluded because you have a really big purpose, all right? So if you do feel a little bit more secluded too, you have a big purpose. And a whole lot of light, okay? You will have a beautiful life where it may, again, come with some sort of material in some way, shape, or form. Or, like, say, for example, like you build your own community, your own house. You're good. You don't have to rely on those systems, etc. Whatever abundance means to you. Why Page of Swords and the Star card of the Six of Swords? You will be the Queen of Wands, the magician over here. You are the co-creator. Okay, you're meant to be a King or Queen of Wands in this lifetime, where they take up space, okay? They don't try to, they just take up space. There goes the flower over here, which is the sunflower, all right? But there goes the flower holding that flower. You will be holding that rose of yours, maybe a sunflower of yours. You will be holding it. All of these attacks, you know, what I also feel the need to say is for this collective, don't fear of anyone trying to stop, block, or anything of your soul destiny. It will never work. And yeah, you can put in the comments below again, I am angered. Don't you ever, like, we don't even really talk about those things here. We don't have those kind of fears, you know. If anyone was to even try to grab the rose, they're going to grab the thorns first. And just have that knowing. You are a rose. And you don't have to be in fear. If they even try to touch that rose, they're going to grab the thorns. All right. I see you having a beautiful life. I also see with the Star card over here, you're here to be of sacred service. The Star card is New Age of Aquarius. You are the chosen one indeed of your ancestral lineage. And it is prophetic for you to have certain things to fulfill your mission. What some of you need to hear too is you will have abundance, or just in general, it's, you know, being open to the unlimited abundance that comes in for you, where just everything works out. When you need something, somehow someone around you has it, all those different things. Especially because I do see some of you in life, you have been secluded. You have been secluded, but you're also the Kalima energy. You're protected. It doesn't matter how many are out there on the battlefield. You are protected. And just walk through life. I am a divine rose of God. and I'm protected. I have no fear. If they are to even attempt to grab the rose, they will grab the thorns. And just having that knowing within you. Now, what is advice for this reading? What is advice for this reading? I'm seeing a lot of exploring of the mind. You know, for some of you, quite literally diving into the mind, the subconscious, the unconscious. Why the 8 of Wands over here? That's the mind of the magician. It's the mind of the initiate. The initiate mind, the Kemetic mindset, that is someone who dives deeper, constantly, always, consistently. A high priest or priestess doesn't just go through like initiation and then they're a high priest or priestess. It's a lifestyle. It is like I choose to dive deeper within my own self and without of me every day. You know, I'm going to take every single thing as a deeper initiation to wisdom, right? Like for some of you, you know, I've been talking about life is the mystery school. You are the initiate. That is who you are. Truly. Magician card over here. You are a co-creator of God. And some of the things that have happened to you, like the spiritual attacks, were truly to show you your power. Where it's like, when are you going to own that authority, etc. All right. And I do see you here. I do see Gemini energy. We have a King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So I see a lot of that as well. All right. That was a powerful reading from the ancestors. The ancestors want you to know you are a bright and shining star. 111 as soon as I say that. And not in the sense of ego, not in even the Leo sense. Bright and shining star, you know, that star energy, right? The celestial energy. You shine, you emanate from the outside, from the inside out. And your light shines. It's that Leo authenticity. All right. And I do see just in general, no, you're so protected and supported on your path. You chose this path knowing that you may not have access to certain things. You may not have a family. You may deal with a lot of maternal, paternal lineage stuff to clear. Like you chose this knowing, I chose the root chakra in this lifetime to clear. But it's also coming with so many rewards, you know, and nothing could ever stop or block your soul destiny ever. All right. The World card, the world is yours. Brand new cycle, success. All right. So that's what I have for you. I hope it resonates in a positive way. Let me get to the comments now too. Got high metabolism. Yeah, I have my high metabolism. I just think and just talk and I start burning calories. Definitely had that happen where people tried to emasculate you. Yes, and that's what they do on purpose. You know, is where you're so sensitive. Are you okay? Do you have is the you know? And so just be mindful of that. Thank you. This is from a Pisces, Tara Tucci, sending much love to my sister. I have 2 children. Sometimes I forget things and it hurts my heart when I see I've forgotten. Yeah, I think in those moments too, having just like an open conversation. I feel like it allows also children to know of like, hey, yes, I'm your parent, but I'm not perfect. You know, I think it helps actually their inner child of like, my mom or dad is a human, you know, like they can mess up sometimes. I have forgotten things too with my little one. I'm just like, oh, you're so good at that, Romy. You're so good at reminding me. I'm so sorry. Let me be like, you know, present or whatever. Ground, regroup. There's spiritual meaning behind skin picking and hair pulling. It could be like, that's also energy. So our hair holds on to energy. Our skin holds on to energy. So yeah, it could be some of that stuff. It could also be like the root chakra, like being nervous, you know, things like that where we're finding stimulation. A rose is still a rose. But it's funny now because I made it magical. Kalima is my guru, my angel. Yes, when I'm watching you, she's always showing up in the readings. I love it. Ah, blessings to you, beautiful soul. Yes, Kalima has been with me all my life. I didn't realize she was with me all my life. Until I had the initial big awakening with her. And then it was a guru, a Kalima priestess, that had shifted perspectives for me. And she was like, you know, if you look at your life, it was always Kalima. And then I looked back and I was like, whoa. Or even when I was a child, they couldn't stop me from dancing. And I mean, they couldn't stop me from dancing, where they even took me to doctors. This little 6-year-old just won't stop dancing. Was I dancing or was I cleansing and clearing energy? Where, like, I do remember the first time I ever realized when I was dancing, I saw things that would happen. And so I remember, whatever, I was at school, but something happened that I saw while I was dancing at home. I was like, wait, but I saw that in my head while I was dancing, and the same thing just happened in the classroom. So that I remember that first moment where I was like, how did I see that? And I remembered it was when I was dancing. And so just little things like that, where when I was a kid, when I told you, no, I couldn't hear you. You could get 4 adults screaming, Jocelyn, stop dancing. I couldn't hear that I was dancing. I was in a trance. And the things that I was seeing while I was dancing would actually happen. But again, it's like right? Like if we had New Earth, not to say that my parents weren't New Earth parents, thank you for birthing me here. But, like say if we had parents that were aware in that moment, that child is actually channeling, that child is going into a mediumship dance. That's a shamanic dance. It's a Kali dance, a Shiva dance, And so I notice little things with my 6-year-old now where I'm like, oh, you have a lot of Shiva energy. Instead of correcting certain things, I try to work with it, like, oh, actually you have a Shiva gift, but you're 6, and let's teach you like the art of like sacred destruction instead of like just, all of that kind of stuff. So Kali Ma was always with me. I didn't realize it though until like my first really big awakening with her. And yeah, it's been such a journey. Yeah, it's always good vibes, no harm. When did you say snakes? Yes, my maternal late ancestor showing up. Oh yes, I love it. Yes, it's all about remembering who you are. You literally came to me as I was thinking of Joseph. Then you come on talking about Joseph. You really came to me as I was thinking of Joseph. It's always the Joseph that connects us all. The most high divine source energies. And may peace be with you. Thank you. In Yeshua's name, bless you. Thank you. We were just speaking of Yeshua too. I love Yeshua, Yahweh. Because was the love that was to corrupt the destiny. Because the love that was to corrupt the destiny. Listen, sometimes it's the romantic partnerships that try to come in, things like that. Sometimes it is when it comes to soul destiny. Being single is not a bad thing. Yes, I want to mention that. Someone also did say earlier, and which it was for them, but it can ring a bell, right? I had realized that like it wasn't God's will for me to have that home and family right away. Like, that I thought that was God's will for me. Kind of something like that. I haven't had a partner in 6 years. So I'm going on like almost 10 years, where I've dated here and there, but I haven't had a partner in 6 years. I did have a physical twin flame. We are not in contact at all. I'm someone who doesn't feel like I need a twin flame. I don't feel any separate from a twin flame. My twin flame is matter. Neurons, electrons, protons, all of that. And that's what Osiris represents. So that's why I say my twin flame is matter. For some chosen ones, again, the New Age spirituality has really distorted the twin flame journey where it's like, but that's God's will for you to be with someone just like Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, and Osiris, Isis. Mary Magdalene had a child without Jesus. Jesus passed and she had her child. Isis didn't have Osiris for 7 years. So it's like the reality of these stories was, the masculine and the feminine really came into power within themselves first, before coming into union. And for me, I had actually personally, so I, sharing my personal story, I always felt like that was my truth as well. That I would have certain things before a masculine came into my life, that it was not supposed to come from a physical man. And I was meant to find that within me and to rise my own inner masculine, which I call him Osiris. So for me, my inner masculine's Osiris. but yeah, you know, sometimes it is the protection of not having, of like what we think is like, you know, we're meant to have, we're supposed to have right now, which, you know, for us humans is like partnership, right? You know, and it's okay to desire those things, etc. But I think it could sometimes be protection for you to have certain things crystallized and anchored first, you know, where sometimes it's protection. Ah, thank you for clicking the like button. I've been making music and I just recently, yes, went viral after 3 years. I love it. No, but you're not egotistic. No, one, that's the thing too. Like when you have watched someone, a friend, anybody work on something so hard for years and then they finally do it or like make it or this or that. And then the people are like, who do they think they are? What you should have been praying for that person to be if they were actually your friend or your soul brother, your sister, or whoever. You know, there's one woman that I knew years ago where when I first was working with her sessions were $200, $300. And now they are $10,000, $20,000. When I first knew her, they were $200. I could sit here and because I went through this with that. I didn't resonate with that. I knew of people who were just like, who does she think that she is? Didn't we just not watch this woman work so hard for 5 to 7 years straight? You know, where I'm just like, yeah, I better align to your energy. Yeah, you did that. You did that. You know, that's just a mentor of mine that I used to work with that if I want to work with her now, she's 10 to 20K, you know. However, yeah, you better go do that because I watched you work hard for 5 to 7 years. So with the, you know, with what you're talking about that, I don't understand it personally. Like, yeah, you better, well, actually, my 11th house is Leo. That's why. 11th house is social groups and friends. I naturally am just like, yeah, you know, to like all your friends, like I'm the hype girl of everybody that's around me. Or I'm just like, yeah, you better break those glass ceilings. You better rise to your highest timeline. Yeah. But that's because my 11th house is in Leo. So I'm like the Leo to my friends where I'm like, yeah, more, higher, yes. You know, I guess it's like that. But that's exciting, little Sunny. I hope that you go even more viral. Yes, HB Canal, and I hope that your YouTube channel also thrives and spreads, you know, continues to spread the truth that you spread too. I like your videos. There was a bear one the other day. Or not the other day, that I saw the other day. Exactly. No, you better go, little Sunny. I hope you go 10 times even more viral. I've had people have dreams of me where they're like, I had a dream that you put me in the mirror and you put a wig on me and you told me to feel beautiful. I remember when someone told me of that dream. That definitely sounds like though me. Sometimes the dreams I'm like, I actually wouldn't say that. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, that actually sounds like me. I put them in front of a mirror. I gave them one of my wigs. And I said, look at you. Look how beautiful you are. And I was like just making them feel good, I guess, in the dream. But it was kind of cute. All right, I'm going to get some closing messages of that ancestral message as well. Now, that was a powerful ancestral message, okay? So just take what resonates. And it was a very beautiful reading. You are the rose of your ancestors. You are a healer over here. You are the rose of your ancestors. You are the softest ancestor of your entire lineage, all right? And you're the chosen one of it. There's so many beautiful things destined for you. Your soul destiny, back on track. That's what I'm seeing where you had family, you had spiritual attacks, etc. You are back on track. Type in the box below, I am in alignment. I am in alignment. And do it with the lightning bolt. I am in alignment. Thank you for being here. I'm happy that they resonate. Yes, bless you. Blessings always to India. I also have a soul family in Sri Lanka that I was able to reconnect with this past week too. My Kalima family. Oh, I know I have time, but it is truly my dream to go to India. And you see just the tears right away. Oh my gosh, like that would be even just shaking. Like the second that I say that, that was a dream. I am in alignment, yes. In the India, it will happen for me, but it's gonna happen. My son's only 6 years old, so when he's a little bit older. But I know. I want to go to India. My son's 6 years old though, but probably when he's a little bit older, it's gonna happen though. I'll tell you right now, ain't nobody stopping that. Brave spirit, it's gonna happen. Arts and myths. Yeah, it's just, again, I can't even like speak about it. To go to India would be a whole soul. I don't even know for me. Yes, I will. Hi, what's up? Let's get some closing messages from that ancestral message, okay? Reclaim your ancestral inheritance. You can type in the box below, I have reclaimed my ancestral inheritance. What do we have for all signs today on their ancestral inheritance? You got a beautiful change coming in, okay? You could be seeing butterflies, flowers, balanced over here. And I said flowers. We were talking about roses. There's no flowers on here, but butterflies, feathers, roses, or flowers. Let's get another message for you. We have You Are a Healer again. What do we have for all signs on some closing messages? Caretaker, guardian, and support, okay? You definitely have your ancestors' support, and they're watching you right now. What do we have for all signs? Growth, a flowering, expansion, okay? You are expanding over here. Whether that be a soul level, whether that be without of you, you are expanding. Expect expansion. You have a beautiful change. And what comes to mind is taking flight. Like I'm seeing you taking some sort of flight over here. Okay, and then we have Dawn Watcher, caretaker, guardian, and support over here. Your ancestors are watching you. Your ancestors are also supporting you, guiding you, protecting you, blessing you. I'm gonna grab a few more. I have reclaimed my ancestors' inheritance. There you go. What do we have? What do we have for all signs today? Closing out this message. What did I tell you? Now, unfortunately though, fortunately or unfortunately, now you get the blessings. It's in your soul destiny to get those blessings, whether that be some sort of fame, recognition, fortune. You know, again, when I have the fame and fortune card, it could really just be you writing a book and putting it on Amazon. Take it as it resonates. You know, leave what doesn't. Kurukulle, whatever's yours on a soul level is yours anyway. Confirmation, you came here, you were chosen to clear the root chakra. Like, you do have the root chakra here. So that's a confirmation. You are the ancestor that clears the root chakra of your lineage. Which means, though, at some point, that root chakra fills up with blessings. You're going to have a very open, secure root chakra. Archangel Michael can also resonate with you, which is interesting because we wrote Archangel Michael on here. I had written down next week, which, should I do at the same time? I don't even know what time I went. I think it was 1 o'clock today. Yeah, around 1 o'clock I went live. Next week, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll make a post as well, and I'll maybe put it inside my the description box too. We're going to do a live, another question and answer, another tarot reading, but we're going to also go over the mystery school teachings of Archangel Michael, because there he goes, and look, he definitely wants to come through in the next live, okay? Because Archangel Michael is not the same Archangel Michael in mystery school as he is in the Hebrew Bible, and so we're going to bring him in next week. That's what we're going to do. Archangel Michael mysteries according to mystery school before the Bible even existed. That's what we're going to do with the first chakra there. Confirmation as well for those who are watching me. And how you feel about this will be up to you, but you're the chosen one to clear out the root chakra energy in your lineage, but also understanding that you get root chakra blessings as well. All right. Yes, feel free to send me an email. Like I do have Sri Lanka family that when I go to Sri Lanka, I'm going to my family, the temples out there in Sri Lanka that has the Gurujis out there. And that truly is like a dream for me, you know, so definitely Sri Lanka. I want to go to Sri Lanka, but India as well, those two, especially India. There's just I know that the second I step foot there, I just like feel it already, you know, like in my heart. So I would love to. Kolkata, her own land, her own roots. Yeah, don't make me cry. Yeah, my email is in the description box. Feel free to email me. For Kalima, you'll be visiting Kolkata, her own land and her roots. What do we have as final messages? What do we have as final messages? Reiki, you could benefit from some sort of Reiki over here. Maybe the root chakra. What do we have for... What do we have? Confirmation on the maternal lineage, okay? So a lot of things being confirmed at the end of this reading. Now, again, no matter what gender you are, the womb work, it could have to do with your sacral or your womb. If you do not have a womb, you still have a sacral space. It could also mean the maternal lineage for you. Now, we do have Ganesha. We understand that with the elephant aspect of things, it really clears and removes obstacles and blockages. So with the Ganesha as well, it does feel like there is maternal blockages that are being cleared for you as far as your ancestry. So the mother lineage, but again, general timeless reading, it could be paternal lineage. And we do have Horus or Heru, which represents a new cycle, divine sight. It also represents like rebirth or whatever you're birthing into the world. And then we have Reiki, all right? So some Reiki could also benefit you here. Perhaps specifically of the root or the sacral. And then HB Kennel for St. Michael, we're going to be doing that next Saturday. So next Saturday, we're going to be going on live, talking about the mystery school teachings of Archangel Michael, which we learn about his shadow side. Archangel Michael actually has a shadow. And they teach that in mystery school, which there's still, with the angels, there's still a duality aspect. There's not no duality with the angels. And at 1 p.m. So 1 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's around the time that I started today. And then allspice. What do you mean by energy extractions? You know, for me, when I think of extraction, it's a lot of galactic energy is what, at least for me, feels like they like extract. And also the Kalima energy, like they really like extract things. The Arcturians are amazing for extracting energy. Like their light technology that the Arcturians have, they work quickly, you know, and it's not like our technology. So the Arcturians are amazing for extracting energy cords as well. Watch you all the time, us men get left out. I use masculine energy, or when I speak of like feminine or masculine, it's always just within you. I would love to see a whole high priest panel. I would love that. I would absolutely love that, to see men, sacred masculine energy, like all of like, hey, we are all high priests and we're all like whatever, doing their thing. I would absolutely love that. I feel like it should exist. You know, there's so much, and I've always felt this way. So that's also the Sekhmet energy. She's a protector of men. She's a leader of men to war. And so there's so much high priestess stuff. And I've always felt this way. And I've always said it. I'm just a woman. So it's like, what, you know, I would like to maybe hold a male space, but I'm also a woman. And so like, how do you do that? Should I more just find a soul brother and like, hey, you should really hold that space because you're an awesome high priest, you know? I would just always felt like I shouldn't do it because I'm a woman, I'm a feminine, right? But why do we see so much high priestess stuff and we don't see high priest stuff? And I've actually always been vocal about this, about Osiris. You know, the gods, I actually feel like the gods, so the masculine energy, does not get as much credit as it should. Osiris doesn't, which is why I do Osiris like everything, because when he first came into my life years ago, you know, he was like, I know you though, you know, I have like a soul Kemetic name, which when you say it, it means the beloved of Osiris, which that's my soul name. And so like I've always felt this protection, but I don't know, I just never resonated with like Isis, and I'm a priestess of Isis. I've always remembered in my soul, you are equally Osiris as you are Isis. And if you're an Isis priestess and you've never taken the Osirian mysteries, you are, not to say that you're imbalanced, but that they go together. And so in my soul, I just always had that knowing and like awakening, that the masculine is just as important, So I don't know. With all that, I know nothing. But I do wish that there were more masculine spaces. And there's been a part of me that would love to create it. It's just, again, a woman. But maybe we can do like a high priest space, because there has to be one. Why is there so much high priestess spaces and no high priest spaces? And that's the truth. So if any of the high priests, soul brothers watching me, would like to create a space, email me. My email is there. Email me. I do believe that there should be space, but I will also say I'm also seeing so many masculines hold space, create spaces, shamanism, men's groups, things like that. So it's just amazing to see. But you're right about that I think spirituality, it can be a lot more feminine than gearing towards the masculine. There's a lot, maybe logical stuff with there too, but so if you have an entity in your energetic field, there is an Archangel Michael prayer that's amazing for that. Archangel Michael is also amazing for extracting. So you really can call upon the sword of Archangel Michael, and you're commanding and demanding, and that's all that it is. You're commanding and demanding that they be released from your energetic field, that they be extracted. Because the highest truth is, the only thing that has taught us that we don't have power over those things is fear. You command them, they go. The highest truth is that negativity and those negative things don't have power over us. And if we feel like they do, there's like something of the shadow to learn, releasing fear, things like that. But Archangel Michael is definitely awesome for removing entities. The Arcturians are awesome for that. Some entheogens, some plant medicines are also awesome for that too. Even tobacco, you can do a tobacco ceremony for yourself and do that. Let's not do that. It's my sole purpose to disclose hot topic. It's the same method work for human to cure cancer disease and tumors. Yeah, I've been cured of incurable diseases before. For me, combo is what helped me. So it definitely probably was a balance of things. That, I was a very sick child. And someone prophesied to me that after my Saturn's return is when my health would be the best it would ever be, and where it was supposed to always be. But, we understand though, right? When we hold on to a lot of negative energy, a lot of trauma from our ancestors, etc., it manifests in the form of dis-ease. And so I was actually a very sick child. I was always in the hospital. I was on 3,000 milligrams of medication a day. Like, I was always in chronic pain as a kid. Like 6 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old. And it was actually as I got older that my health actually improved. I am Osiris. Yes, say it. There was another sub brother the other day that said that they had a dream that I told them that they were Osiris. Yes, Dawn. I am Osiris. I'm reincarnated with Dr. Proof, 54 chromosomes, born in Bethlehem. Yes, you declare it, Osiris. I really resonate with being the son of Isis. I will go to her first and do to my father once. I will go to Osiris just a bit later. Yeah, and that's okay too, of how we awaken, right? Whether it's through Isis first or Osiris first, as long as we have the balance. Yeah, Isis did come in first. I've always been spiritual. I had awakenings beforehand, but it was when my son was born that they came in so strong. It took over my entire life. My life changed very quickly within 2 weeks after giving birth. Where, the ancestors were like, hey, your child has certain things in their soul destiny too. You got to do this now. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that, but okay. And they were right though. Everything that they told me was true. I'm really here for the high priest. Yes. All of you high priests, rise. I'm really here for the high priest. Love Archangel Michael. Yes, the breathing. And one way to balance actually your inner masculine, feminine energy is through the nostril breathing. So, breathing through the nostril, your pranayama. Interesting for me finding your channel. I almost named my daughter Blue Rose. Oh, that's a beautiful name. Her dad chose something else and I was too young. Yeah, the blue rose. And maybe we can leave off on that too before I do head out today, of what the blue rose is. So blue rose, why I named this blue rose was I had a dream with Jesus, Yeshua, and Jesus went down onto his 2 knees and he handed me, this was before my YouTube channel existed, so over 5 years ago, because I've been on here almost 5 years now. It's been like 4 something years. So in one hand was a diamond, in one hand was a blue rose. And he said, I want you to share these with the world. And I said, what the heck is it? Like, and I remember because I was already aware of certain things. I was already on my journey, but I didn't know what the blue rose was. I was already like starting my training as a rose priestess. But I was like, well, none of my rose sisters ever talk about the blue rose. We talk about the red rose and the white rose and the black rose, but what the heck is a blue rose? And so I went to all these Isis priestesses, all these Hathor, all the rose lineage priestesses. None of them, at least 7 years, like this was 6 to 7 years ago, had an idea of what the blue rose was. And I was like, well, Yeshua told me I'm supposed to share this with the world. So what the heck is this? And then it went through a journey of actually finding, so there are things on the blue rose. The blue rose is the most hidden rose of the entire rose lineage. Why? Because it belonged to Yeshua's daughter and Mary Magdalene's daughter. People don't recognize that they had a daughter. So does a blue rose exist? That's the whole thing there. Or it's like, but does their daughter exist? And that's why the blue rose is so hidden. The blue rose debunks a lot of myths. The blue rose is a spark of conversation. The blue rose is the middle path. Where Mary Magdalene was the left-hand path, Yeshua was the right. Sarah La Kali, which some of them say that her name was Sarah La Kali, the holder of the blue rose, and that either Sarah the servant or Sarah La Kali was the daughter of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. And so that's where the blue rose comes from. And the blue rose is also a galactic lineage. So even beyond like that holy lineage there, the blue rose grows on planet Venus, which right over here, planet Venus. So the blue rose grows on planet Venus and it grows on the dark side of the planet, which represents it's symbolic of the gifts of the blue rose, which are of higher heart alchemy. Creativity, song, dance, music. It's the ray of truth. It's also the ray of Archangel Michael. So the blue rose is just symbolism of the cosmic blue ray of light, which is Archangel Michael. It's the ray of truth. So whenever you come across the blue rose or the cosmic blue ray of light, like Archangel Michael, it's the ray of God's will of truth, which is beyond religion, right? And so, like, for example, God's will for me is not going to be what somebody believes God's will is in their religion or this or that, where God's will is simply your highest remembrance and truth. And that's God's will for you. God's will is not a religion. It's your highest truth and destiny. So that's what the blue rose, at least for me, represents. When I say blue rose, I think of just the cosmic blue ray of light. And the cosmic blue ray of light doesn't belong to one land or culture or religion. It's found through the lands of Buddha, of Guan Yin, of Hathor, of Osiris, of Isis, Archangel Michael, Melchizedek, Aphrodite, so it's more just a ray of truth, of creativity. It's the ray for the co-creators. So that's what the blue rose represents and why I had originally named myself Blue Rose. It came from a dream that I had many years ago. All right. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here. We will be back live. I'm writing it down now. We're writing it down. 1 p.m. Eastern. Next week on Saturday, question and answer tarot readings. And we're going to be diving into the mysteries of Archangel Michael. Okay. And then for this particular live, we're ending at 1442. Perfect timing. 1 hour, 44 minutes. The mantra that will repel negativity and will also attract everything that's meant for you. Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. Om Kurukulle Hrih Svaha. And so instead of doing, 2 different rituals or 2 different mantras, you are repelling and blocking negativity at the same time calling in what's for you. All right. So blessings to you. Blessings to all of you. I love how we're ending at 1442. So I will see all of you tomorrow for some Pisces and Ancient Souls videos. And as always, just thank you for being here. Much love to you. See you live next